Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're ready. Hopefully you guys are ready. Let's jump in to game number one here
My Han
in this best out of 3.
Load it. So
oh, jeez.
I'll just tune. I'll have to watch off your screen breaky, so
we'll be good.
Lean on over
You'll
here.
eventually make your way in.
Maybe.
All right. So as far as this game is concerned, I did just join a little late, so I didn't catch who blind banned what. But we do see Ophelia, Parasite, and Keeper of the Force. Overall, were the blind bans here for these two teams. So obviously an overlap going on. Not exactly sure which one. Again, I joined a little bit late, but those are the 3 blind bans. Then you got Aluna, the first lock, followed up by Pebbles, Deadwood. So, Q Squad, not only 2 things that I want to mention about them. One is that they've been one of these teams that has not been afraid to kind of go with the patch to an extent and try a lot of these changes with Pandemonium and whatnot. And 2, though, the other thing is they are coming off a disappointing loss yesterday, as you were mentioning earlier, against Internet Gangsters. So you kind of wonder what their mindset is like going into this matchup. So we'll see. Sure. You may notice something there.
Nice. I love those guys.
New favorite team.
Yep. Always done. So anyway, taking a look here at the lock pool, we saw Tempest skirted on by, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm more inclined to believe that, although we didn't get to see it, I'm more inclined to believe that Justice League banned out that Parasite. I know. Well, actually, I have to go look, of course, but Pablo Male, that is one of his signature jungle heroes. Of course, he's able to do it a lot, and otherwise, my feelings that Keeper was the one that was double banned. Ophelia, they had first pick there on Legion. It can be a very, very powerful first pick. Pairing up well with heroes like that, Master Arms like that Rally, who has seen a ban here. Tempest is now just addressed by Imba Boy there on Hellborn. I was wondering when he was going to be taken out because he didn't actually get blind banned or locked. Neither team really wanting to enter that territory.
Yeah. The banning stage moving along right here. Rally, Moon Queen, Nymphora, Tempest, Pandemonium. Banned by Nova, actually. So taking out that Pandemonium from either side's option. And then Fade, the final ban coming out. Again, that's kind of interesting. Q Squad has shown that they have ran that Pandemonium, as several teams have seemed like they've been liking to run them lately. There's the Flux pickup, though. Also another hero that seems like he's been getting a little more attention since the patch, although he himself didn't really get any changes in the patch. But
well, no, but the style of play did. And also looking at this, Engineer is in the lock pool. What that tells us with that Flux pick is that no longer, they had first pick here, so no longer is Justice League able to interrupt their draft by taking a Flux. Say if they pick something else first pick here, Justice League would have had the chance to take Flux and thus denying them that Flux Engineer combination and picking something up themselves. So having this Flux here, they're going to be picking up Engineer first out of this lock pool because that's the entire reason they're going for it. It is an incredibly powerful combination. I feel like teams actually weren't using it enough before.
Underestimating it even. So Q Squad not underestimating that potential, though, with a Flux first pick. Again, not 100% guarantee, but you definitely eye that Engineer, and it seems like that's what you're going for when you pick up a hero like Flux. So
Dark Lady, I've seen them run Dark Lady alongside this Flux NG strat, since this is a very powerful opening to a team fight in general. It gives Dark Lady a lot of room to sort of get in there and do her thing. Giving the Dark Lady a very safe farm lane, even up to tri-laning it if they need to give her that initial support. Meanwhile, Flux is very strong on his own.
So, DCX over here, Justice League. I made the point earlier. I'm honestly a little bit disappointed. If you're gonna name yourselves Justice League, you gotta have the names, man. You gotta have Superman in there. You gotta have Aquaman. I mean, come on.
Those are the two names you'd go with.
Well, no, those are just off the top of my head. I mean, I mean, there's obviously a lot more, but. Just that would, at least a couple of the players, that would have been pretty cool. But, hey, to each their own. It is still a cool name nonetheless.
So, back to this drafting phase, though. Master of Arms is picked up immediately drafted. You saw Nova did favor that Flux, even over a very powerful and versatile pick like that Master. Just really, really wanting that combination. Meanwhile, Predator is drafted on the other side, and that's been a hero with a lot of controversy. Some of the competitive scene says, hey, man, this hero is just ridiculously overpowered. Even within Stay Green, KZU's like, hero's broken. Once teams figure out how to use him properly, it's going to be nasty. Meanwhile, Swindlemalms is like, hero's useless, buy tablet.
And his teammate.
So a little bit of, it's not even among teams about the status of the hero, but in this case, against a Flux Engineer combination, I think it is pretty wonderful. The Stonehide now does allow you to go through that electric fence without taking any sort of perplex, or silence at this point. So, still powerful, and the snowball potential of that hero, since he got the change to his what is it even called, the terror, the terror that now it doesn't matter, you don't have to cast it. Whenever you attack a target for 3 times, you are going to get it, and that applies to neutral creeps as well. So it helps his farming mechanics.
Well, that in itself too, just not having to worry about even clicking. I know that's just it's just a matter of clicking the button, but just not even having to worry about that, and then also the cooldown factor. I mean, just simply attacking and it goes off. So
it was a little bit more than that though too, because it did have a cast time. It was small, but it was still something. So sometimes it might interrupt the timing of one attack or something like that to get it off in the first place. So either way here, we see the Pharaoh picked up, another heavy team fight hero that Jonas Van personally is known for. And I actually feel like Pharaoh can be really powerful against Dark Lady sometimes too, since with those walls up, it does trap her in there, activate that barbed armor, and you can waste the entirety of a Dark Blade sometimes. So
yeah.
Right now I'm seeing really powerful initiation between this Flux Engine combo, between the Darkness being casted by Dark Lady, and they're looking to isolate and slay pretty early on in these team fights.
Yeah, Pharaoh's great against heroes like Predator for simply the point of, that whole Stone Hide. It's like, use your Stone Hide on my wall. So that's not going to really do anything for you in the end. Just simply still being able to trap him in there. Very powerful tool.
Is something I wasn't used to seeing there, just because he is a newer hero. When I was looking over the heroes that are left in the pool, Lodestone should have been a super obvious one at that point for a powerful draft. QsQ, he was open, opting to go the Pharaoh over the Lodestone for that skill set instead. Still not to be discounted, though. I mean, you've seen right there, a lot of the teams are instantly first picking him out of the lock pool without even hesitation. So
you see blind bands on this guy. I mean, this is one of those, obviously one of the new 6 heroes that's gotten the most attention, no doubt, out of those 6. So Engineer, the first pick. Again, can't say too surprised about that one. You definitely called it with that Flux first pick. It's pretty obvious the strategy that Q Squad over here is going for, and it seems like they're drafting appropriately.
I would have raged out if they didn't, because when they gave up the Master of Arms by picking the Flux first, that was to ensure that they got the combo. So there was pretty much no chance at that point. So right here, they have Pred for a lot of physical damage. They have that Lodestone for the mix. I would personally, if I wanted to pick one of those heroes, I would go for that.
Deadwood.
Well, okay, there you go.
That's
the
your
Deadwood
answer.
and the Aluna. I would have gone for the Pebbles over the Deadwood personally. Thought they had a nice mix already, and
I am interested in how they're going to
Pebbles is actually. Oh, you're saying on the
Hellborn side, because it's kind of a. Are we going to see a Master of Arms support here with the Aluna support? Anyone like a tri lane or even dual lane, or
Zergo's the ganker, Tilla's the support player, as always. Imba Boy's the carry. You see Saint Rock's playing utility, second support, Master of Arms right there. So he's going to be playing secondary support master. And Zane, he's going to be playing that suicide role, Lodestone.
Yeah, okay.
So
looks like more of either a tri-lane or that dual lane.
Yeah, more of that dual lane. They might tri-lane initially. But whenever I see a tri-lane, yes, it's a tri-lane. But especially with the runes now, it allows there for to be a lot of movement in the first place. So if they give him, it depends on where how Legion chooses to adapt at that point. Obviously, these players are in that certain slots, and they're known for going to the suicide or what have you. But the lanes are very adaptable, especially with heroes like Aluna and Master of Arms, depending on where they need that support. But early on, I expect to see them definitely roam together to gain that scouting, gain that positioning, and make their assessment based off that.
Yeah, so you see Q Squad as well. They finished with the Torturer pick right there. It is going to be swapped to Nova, so expect to see that support Torturer coming out as well right here from Q Squad. So into the game we go. And you look at Q Squad again, their lineup as a whole, it just looks like a lineup that, again, from the very beginning, they planned it out with that Flux first pick. It seems like that they pretty much got everything that they were going for, and now it's just a matter of execution when it comes down to it here for Q Squad. But you talk about team fight synergy, starting with the Flux Engineer Torture on top of that, although being the support role, still will be able to play a lot, of course. And then you got the safety net, especially for the late game, of course, in Nox, as his hard carry potential comes throughout. But also, as you even talked about, Nox's ultimate, the Cover of Darkness on Dark Lady, how that can also be very effective while those big team fights are taking place. And you got Flux and whatnot pulling people in left and right. So it could be very chaotic, to say the least, here for the Justice League. So we'll see if the Justice League is definitely up for that challenge. I'm sure they are. As you see the lineup, and
they knew what they were coming into. They said it before that QsQ on the left side has always been sort of the big brother of Justice League. They've been that big brother screen partner. They're very interwoven. They said they hope they don't have anything prepared. So this is a strategy that I've seen. I forget who they took out with it exactly. I know they used it during the Runic Shift tournament. Maybe it was. I think they actually took out X-Trademark with it in Game 3.
Was it?
I want to say that they took out X-Trademark in Game 3. Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, I can't say for certain. It's not off the top of my head, but yeah, they did defeat X-Trademark 2-1 in that semifinals. I'm blanking on honestly who they played in the first round, even though. So, but again, made it to the grand finals of that event. Eventually losing to State Green, but still looked very good all throughout. And And that's what we're talking about earlier, too. QsQ, a team that they're known for just going on an up-and-down roller coaster ride, man. I mean, at times you'll see that they seem like the top-tier team, the best team out there even, and other times just you kind of just scratch your head a little bit and wonder what they were thinking, so, or just, you know, about the results in general. So, no doubt, I mean, that's where you got to say for QsQ as well. I mean, there's so many things on the line for QsQuads where they're the ones feeling the pressure right now. I mean, they are in the losers bracket round 2 here, so getting knocked down even a little bit earlier than, of course, they wanted to, but maybe even expected. They're playing a team in Justice League who is definitely less experienced, especially at that top tier. And on top of that, they're little brother even. The little brother here. The last thing they want is to lose to their little brother here.
Well, you know, you could tell that they weren't saying that they were ultra confident going into the matchup. They said, you know, that we hope that QsQ doesn't have anything prepared. Like,
yeah,
we hope that they haven't done the read on us, which said, you know, we think we're good, but, you know, we do have a lot of respect here for QsQ. We realize that they sort of, what they're capable of when they're at their peak. So,
see right here, Lodestone.
Yeah, decent 4-man. That's actually a pretty powerful 4-man Roman squad there if they were to get anything done. But
yeah.
Not able to find anyone and pick him off. Nova's quite out of reach there. He actually places that preemptive ward of sight. So, based on where Tilla is going to ward here, there's a high chance he might be scouted out. Has a rev ward of his own as well, but clearly not looking to interrupt any jungle camp. So we'll see if he has the read.
Yeah, again, you see how things are shaping up, though. It looks like it is going to be an aggressive tri-lane being ran from DCX here. At the bottom lane, you got Master of Arms and Aluna supporting this Predator, at least off the bat. As far as the Legion side is concerned, Nox playing the Dark Lady is going to be that short lane to start. Again, Dark Lady, though, is pretty powerful in these cases. With that Saint Soul, still able to get some effective last hits on top of the Hatchet, and then does have the charging strikes for Getaway if need be. Now, it's not to say she is 100% safe by any means, but definitely has a good presence here in a 1 versus 3, 1v2 matchup. So.
Yeah, we talked about the lanes needing to be versatile, and I like what they're doing sending this aggressive tri-lane, because honestly, between the Aluna, Master, and Predator, I think they're quite a bit stronger, especially given the item build of a Dark Lady, because she's going to be forced into a tri-lane situation here, unless they want to leave her to suffer against this enemy support, but they're actually looking to roam on.
Oh, wow, middle lane, Loso might be in a little bit of trouble. Chain reactions coming out, the auto attacks following Loso, dropping quickly. One more going to do it, yes, Flux pulls him in, and Style gets credit for the bloodloss kill. That was being set up for the whole beginning of the game, a 4-man gank. Torture was sitting here on the Legion side. Pharaoh was setting up with the flank on the ramp. Lowstone just had absolutely no clue. I mean, that was just dirty play there.
His rocket drill was down, man, and then all of a sudden the walls came out, so that was a bit unfortunate. But they are catching Torture out here inside of the woods. Power throw is down. He did use it initially, so missing on a little bit of auto attacks. He does not have a health potion, so if he's able to land this next power throw, he will get the kill. Doesn't know which way he had the— he's got Tilla, man!
Wow!
Tilla, man, with that perceptive play, managed to catch him. Really well done. Peak range of it as well.
Well, I mean, it's a case like that where I would just love to have the player point of view, and he was blind. I mean, there's no way he saw Torture in that lane right there. That was just simply presence of mind and completely taking a guess as to where Torture was, and sure enough, sniped him out. I mean, very well played by Tilla right there, and getting that counter kill at least.
So we're looking at this dual lane mid, and I think it's alright, but you know, if they tried to actually help this Dark Lady out and go against this Master of Arms, the Luna, Predator, potential tri-lane, I feel like their tri-lane would lose out between NG, Tort, and Dark Lady, simply because look at Dark Lady's item build, man. No stat build-ups, Guardian Ring, so she's really squishy, doesn't have a shield to deal with it, a hatchet. Meanwhile, on Predator's side, just has a little bit higher stats in general, will have that Stone Hide. Just a bit stronger across the board in this matchup, but looks like they're content to leave that Flux NG lane mid. They're not really looking to try to fight it at this point, which actually is probably for the better.
Top lane, we do have Deadwood actually getting countered on somewhat, and the NE is going to be fine. So you saw Torture coming over. Nova supporting Pharaoh here. Yeah, obviously, not necessarily a lineup that you would guess going into the game, but QsQ has definitely shown EL with even a Pharaoh partner. He definitely has had supports before, and but again, with the way that they're laning things, just simply, as you're even talking about, you know, this is how they want to go about it. Just keep Dark Lady down there by herself, and win the other lanes, win the middle, win the top lane as a result. So. Aluna is going to roam up here all the way to the top lane, however, and it is going to end up being kind of a 2 versus 2 up here now, and we'll see any further adjustments that are made because of that. So, but so far early on in this game, I mean, look at Flux's farm, man. Flux is working off that bloodlust kill quite a bit. He's also a great creep score, 12 and 8. Right now, Style is up there at 357 gold per minute. So,
And more
Strong
shocking
start.
is the fact that Nox right now, not more shocking, I mean, Dark Lady can farm pretty effectively, even against dual or tri setups, depending on how quickly you gain lane control, which I think that was the major thing here. On the Hellborn side, I looked at the bottom lane. The lane seemed like it was constantly pushed up, and I thought the first couple of waves, they should have focused on double denying, triple denying that wave back, getting perfect lane control for this Predator, and then boxing the Dark Lady out so she can't be sitting here at pretty much 200 gold per minute.
Ooh, Torture gonna now port to the bottom lane right here. He's being a little sneaky, about to hit in the woods right there, and ported out. I don't believe he was spotted, but in the end, you see what he's gonna do. He's gonna go ahead and stack this pole camp and then eventually pull with it. So gonna try to gain back that lane positioning somewhat for Dark Lady right here. Dark Lady gonna be jumped on actually, could never sleep, or the leap coming out from Predator right there, the venomous leap even. But in the end, not really any follow-up's gonna happen, and Dark Lady going to be more the fine. I'm pretty sure it's when they saw Torture was the, actually, let's not do this now. So deciding to turn around right there. Engineer also finding his way towards the bottom lane, so it kind of has adjusted almost into a tri lane now for the Legion team here.
Yeah, well, Luna's going to have to make that adaptation again now, so we're stuck up here with Deadwood for the time being. Deadwood has that snowball level advantage over the Pharaoh, maybe not substantial. We'll check the EXP charts right now. Actually, it's 328 versus 252, and the important part is that he will be hitting level 6, you know, long before that Pharaoh, which will give him ultimate lane control at that point. So, given that he's having the edge, I mean, Luna can stack here, maybe give Deadwood the option to pull, but otherwise I would adapt down there to the bottom lane sooner than later.
Imba Boy here on this Predator. You look at the very impressive creep farm himself, 31 and 14, definitely maximizing the fact that he has had a pretty open time to creep farm up here, and it is going to be, it's definitely going to start showing off. I mean, 340 gold per minute already for this Predator. He has 1,300 gold currently saved up, so he's just really focusing on these last hits right here and making sure to get them, again, the most possible. But as we keep referring to, I mean, Dark Lady, you see another one right there, just using that Taint Soul, which she has level 3 of now, man. She is definitely leveling that up and making it easier and easier on herself to get those last hits in there. So, and you see right now, 19 and 1. I mean, this is a Dark Lady that's been 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2 for pretty much this whole game.
Yeah, she had a bit of period 1v1 too. They began to the roam towards that middle lane start right when the lodestone was caught out, but it's had a little bit of room, and well, due to the stack and the bull now gonna get additional gold on top of it. Should get perfect CS of the tower thanks to the hatchet and the Taint Soul.
So Predator's farming can continue to be up there, but as is Deadwood's talked about his level 6 now and getting that earlier on. Flux though, Flux being the focus farm here for Q Squad, style doing work in that sense. How much of an impact do you think a farmed Flux is going to have though? I mean, how big is that for you for Q Squad?
Really all comes down to their Flux NG combination. Allows them to be a little bit more tankier up in front, but it really just, it's not the Flux that's going to be the ultimate game changer. It's just going to be their team presence and team fight. I don't think it's the same thing as, you know, having that farm Deadwood and having that earlier portal key and momentum. But meanwhile, Breaky.
Yeah, Master of Arms getting caught right here. Chain reactions connects. We do see Lodestone coming on over. If he can land the drill right here, he is going to let it on a Torture. Predator also there in the head smash to finish him off. Torture does end up falling. Charge shot and Engineer in the meantime. Flux pulls him and says, get back here. Gonna use a surge, and down falls Master of Arms right there. Predator, he's choosing who to go for. He's gonna decide to go for Engineer, it looks like. Flux pulls back in Lodestone. Gonna keep him away. Gonna try to aggro the Ancients and pop him out late. No, it is not gonna happen though. Imba Boy picks up the double tap. And now he may leap on a Flux actually. No, they're not going to go after him, but Predator gets a double tap out of that whole situation. Very good for DCX.
Yeah, he winded up. Master of Arms should have died there, but Turret like basically completely missed, and there was a lot of lockdown. There was a lot of stun. He actually has level 2 of Keg Turret instead of level 2 Keg as well, which level 2 Keg would have gotten the kill at that point because Turret really did nothing. I don't know why he didn't cast the Turret sooner. I mean, it looked like he had Mon. I'm pretty sure it was off cooldown. I'm pretty sure it wasn't used, so I'm not sure why he didn't use it, but that actually set for a horrible turn of events.
Yeah. Top lane in the meantime, Deadwood and Pharaoh are going at it. Deadwood already using this Falcon Punch, and he's still going to get the kill. Pharaoh will fall, so dumpster ton on top of that. Zergo getting credit for the kill. Looks like the Falcon Punch was from earlier, too. That was off cooldown, or on cooldown for only 20 more seconds. So.
Right, so that's kind of exactly what I was talking about, though, when I mentioned the, you know, looking at the Pharaoh. It was only a 70 experience per minute advantage, and, you know, they were both level 5 at the same time, but that was 5 a bit longer. He hit level 6, while maybe the Pharaoh was a fourth of the way to level 6. And then having that ultimate over the Pharaoh not alone just creates so much of a disparity that now you're seeing a level 8 versus 5 man got the kill and clean wipe from there, so.
Ooh, they're going to go into Predator right here in the meantime. Oh, he's not able to get that stone out in time. Finally going to use it right there. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it will. Looks like the turret comes out, but Not nearly enough damage. The tormented soul came in at the last second. It was only level 1.
Is this turret coming out late every time, or I missed
Yeah.
it? It is, right?
It seems like it is, yeah.
He might have been stunned out there, though.
Well, for that, I think he kind of is.
Out.
Well, I think he's also kind of waiting for the Stonehide too, because it does go through the Stonehide with a slow. So.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't. If he activates the Stonehide after he's getting slowed, it's still okay. I mean,
true.
You might purge off the current amount of slow, but either way, you should be using it. Yeah.
In the end, though, Predator survives and they're going to go back, obviously, to base. And you see right there, you got Stevius. He also has another Gloves of the Swift, and it could technically mean a couple things, but it probably means he is going to be going that Elder Parasite, obviously, as we've just been seeing as a go-to item for Predator.
There's no way you wouldn't. It's, you know what? Even when you're activating the Elder Parasite, once again, it's still giving you that passive 15 attack speed bonus as well as 250 health. And for a hero like Predator who has the built-in armor when he uses the Stonehide ability, he's getting jumped again. This time he's getting silenced, so he can't actually activate his defensive abilities. Breaking.
Yeah, that turret coming up pretty good time. And that time around, the final auto attack, though, just not enough. He will survive. There is no chase on him. The counter kill's going to happen on Torture in the meantime. Lodestone coming with a Shatter Storm. He's a little bit too late, though, so not really having that much of a use. But also at the top in the meantime, Deadwood gets another kill on a Pharaoh. Man, this game is really looking strong start here for DCX.
Yeah, man, Pharaoh level 10 versus level 5 at this point.
Yeah.
That's just how much experience you're getting for those hero kills now on top of the total lane control that he has. I can't believe Predator lived. Besides that, I was saying the Elder Parasite, man, look at it sort of like an Alchemist Bones because of the way that Terror applies itself now over multiple attacks because it lets you farm Ancients faster and all that in general. It's going to be a farming tool for you as well.
Oh, yeah.
Going through those woods, so... yeah, it's a farming steroid that also tanks you up. I mean, it is the perfect item for Predator. It is beyond amazing, and is a big part of his reason for increased viability.
Yeah.
That being said, Predator isn't even. I mean, he has 2 kills, but he hasn't had that huge effect that Predator's capable of. They're still winning the game pretty drastically at this point. And actually, Flux trying to man up against him, but Predator does have the advantage. Just want to go hard in case there's ports coming in, and he doesn't have vision of a couple heroes, so. Going to be back on his way.
Yeah, I do see him holding his ground there. But something else to keep in mind about Predator, too, you always think the duration even of the Stonehide, and that's what you get from leveling it up. But obviously the armor benefit you also get is honestly pretty good for that physical damage that's going to be coming out. So in the meantime, he's going to be kind of Rocket Joe's going to be used as well. It actually missed Flux right there. The head smash will connect, but Flux is going to live. Lodestone just a little off the angle of the drill right there. So the rocket drill.
He's drunk, man. He needs to go home. No, but... What was I going to say? Yeah, Predator hasn't committed to his skill path yet. You're definitely going to see him max out that Vitamin Sleep. And I've seen both pass, the Stonehide max and the Carnivorous from there. But if he's going that Elder Parasite, he might just go with the Carnivorous. It is a huge burst of damage. Does make him farm faster. That being one of Predator's downsides, it's nice to compensate for it. And you just sort of time your Stonehide to dodge spells earlier on.
Yeah, exactly. Use it more for just dodging, like you said.
Well, you actually saw the Flux pulled out the pump fake for a second on his slow, trying to get Predator to use that Stonehide. And then he winded up ultimately using it and actually hit the Pred since Predator wasn't. He was sort of thrown on tilt from that initial stomp. So
yeah, Flux going back to base right now. He's going to use some bottle charges here to heal back up, but. Bottom lane, you've seen Deadwood trying to set something up down here. He's got his new portal key, a very early portal key. Obviously, Zero's just had that fantastic start at the top lane. Again, you mentioned the level 10 already. I mean, so he's got to be getting close to that level 11. I mean, he did go Alchemist Bones, really. So
yeah,
being delivered to him. Interesting. What is your take on that?
I mean, it was a viable build for Predator before if you're able to get it in decent timing and. It's 12 minutes in. It is still good. I mean, sometimes people will say you can't get Alchemist Bones.
Very good counter coming out. The Falcon Punch is going to be used on Style there. Will it be enough for the kill? Rocket Joe going to connect as well. Shatterstorm going to explode right here. Will eventually get the kill. There's a Shatterstorm explosion. And now Engineer in a little bit of trouble. Deadwood somehow still alive. Torture coming in for the side. Lodestone going to be vulnerable. And there he goes. Now he got his armor back. Aluna and Master of Farms trying to help chase him down. Keep Lodestone alive. If anything, 12 minutes, so not going to be enough for the kill. The Fork Lightning scaring off Engineer. Deadwood jumps back in and will pick up the kill and pop a melee right there. The Rocket Drill coming back in and they connects with the Rotten Grasp. Zergo double tap. DCX, Justice League, playing very, very well early on in this game.
Keeping up tons of aggression. Honestly, I think a lot of it just comes down to the snowball factor of the fact that they have this level 11 Deadwood versus level 6 Pharaoh. They did a great job. I mean, when who was it that left? Torture was up there with the Pharaoh sort of helping him out 2v1, but it sort of slowed his experience growth. And when Deadwood hit it, you've seen the impact so far. Otherwise, they're just moving around together really well as a team. I don't think it's the case where you can't get an Alchemist Bones if you're Predator. like even if it's 12 minutes in, some people are under the impression like, oh, if it's you know,
have
after
to
4
get it,
minutes you can't get it. It actually, after some applications of it, you do get it back fairly quickly. Still does give him that attack speed and is going to assure his late game dominance. I mean, I like the Elder Parasite. I think it does help your farm as well. It doesn't amplify it so much as it just makes you farm what you're trying to farm faster, whereas you get bonus gold for those Alchemist Bones, and it helps you on those neutral camps.
Well,
but
would it be radical to think here that he's still going to go Elder Parasite on top of this now?
I don't know.
Oh, they're going to jump right here. Oh, that was a Flux. A Flux that's honestly pretty tanked up even earlier on. He just got bursted down.
What makes the Flux tanky, though? Look at his items. I mean,
I guess against the physical, yeah. Not
no,
so
no,
much.
it's the strength.
Yeah.
It's the strength. And Deadwood alone reduces his strength.
True.
He's not so much against the physical. So to him, it's just carving through butter, man. It's no problem at all. Meanwhile, middle lane Flux here versus his Pharaoh. Looks like Deadwood's trying to shape up and land potentially a rotten grasp here from the cliff. We'll have to see how they actually go about it. Might have a setup stun from Lodestone. Pharaoh's just like, screw this, man. I can smell the game coming. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Something just wasn't right. Spider Sense is tingling, and Jonas and Finn, well, good thing you listened to them, because he was definitely being set up on to get killed right there. Does eventually fall back, but that doesn't change the big picture right now. The big picture is stating that DCX Justice League is in a pretty hefty lead. They got a Predator who not only is farming very well, but just got a steroid item with those Alchemist Bones to just enhance his farm that much more. Deadwood, I mean, we keep referring to the lane matchup that Deadwood have against Pharaoh, the level advantage he's had against him specifically, and right as I say that, he goes on a Pharaoh. Pharaoh dropping quickly. He does not have the Falcon Punch, so it doesn't matter. The auto attacks are still just too much. Look at the Hellfire. Going to be used, though. And, oh, my God, it actually keeps Deadwood away for the time being. Predator jumping on the Engineer in the meantime. Now, Engineer's also going to fall victim out here. He does have the portal key to use. Deadwood, though, not the best positioning. Pharaoh's still on the run. The Rotten Grasp, a perfect connect coming out right there. Pharaoh, oh, barely alive. No, he gets killed right there with the Rocket Drill coming out from those. So the Falcon Punch going to be used on Flux, and Flux will fall also. Double tap, or not a double tap, but anyways. Again, the momentum just continuing big time here for Justice League. Nox is the only sign of hope here, it seems like, right now for Q Squad. He is getting close to an Alchemist, or excuse me, a Rune Cleaver, but yeah, they don't even want to have it. GG well played is being called. Wow! Justice League is going to get a 16-minute concede victory in Game 1 over Q Squad, it looks like. Wow.
Well, yeah.
If it goes through even, I guess. Maybe.
At this point, they are
Not
so
everyone.
significantly down, I understand, and they are going to pass it up. Predator did opt to go Stonehide in the end. Having 4% for the Converse was enough for him, and he actually had the Alchemist Bones to, sort of increase the rate of his farming in the neutral camps anyway, so at that point. So, didn't really need to go that route for the bonus damage. Figured they had enough of an edge where, yeah, just tear through him with that bonus magic community. But either way, that was just, honestly, there's not really too much to add about that game. It was a total collapse. It was a total stomp. It didn't seem like QsQ was ready. They had to adapt more to the lanes. They picked up the Dark Lady and left to her own devices. She was farming decently. I mean, the mid lane, they got the first blood, but then it was sort of counteracted by the fact that Nova was caught out by, it was the Aluna, and was there initially someone else there? But Aluna chased, she did get the power throw off.
Oh, yeah,
amazing power throw to the right of the tower.
Good, yeah.
Sort of neutralized that early game advantage. And, looked like QsQ was on point at the start, but once things started going bad for them, it kept just totally out of tune. And
that lineup for Q Squad, too, that's a deadly lineup, man.
Right.
I mean, that's a really strong lineup.
Well,
the Pharaoh, Flux, Engineer, Dark Lady, and Torturer. But
it's good if they can get Flux NG going. However, Engineer didn't even hit level 6 this game.
Yeah.
He didn't even hit level 6.
Torturer
So
4, Engineer 5, I mean.
They're trying to start team fights that revolve around their team being together. The Flux NG aren't going to make it happen on their own, so they need their team to be together. But they had, sort of lost that early game decisively enough that they were sort of trying to play catch-up the entire time. And that's not a lineup that can really perform in that kind of situation. None of them can. They don't have that burst. They don't have that Deadwood. They don't have that Pebble. So that played a huge role in the fact that once the momentum got started for Justice League, it just could not be stopped.
Yeah, damn. I mean, if anything, you maybe expected the opposite result, honestly, if we're going to have a quick game like that. But Justice League making a statement there in game number 1. So, and again, that was very well played by Justice League in the end. So you can't take anything away from the way they played. The matchup with the Deadwood, he got off to that fantastic start to Zergo, and deserving all the credit in the world for starting that momentum and really just eventually leading to a victory, of course. But I do wonder how Q Squad's gonna recover here in game number 2 after just such a beating in that first game. So, but ladies and gentlemen, of course, with that said, I want to get into that as soon as possible. So we are going to take a short break right here, but hopefully we'll have game number 2 just around the corner. Sit tight, Q Squad. taking on Justice League.